Our next guest is a beloved star, beloved is a word for you, of the big screen. Anna Kendrick is known for her roles in the Pitch Perfect and Twilight film franchises, as well as her Oscar-nominated performance in the movie Up in the Air. Thank you very much. Now, some critics are already calling her performance in her new movie, Alice, darling, her best yet. Kendrick plays a woman who's pushed to her breaking point by her psychologically abusive boyfriend. This is a clip.
I can't do another thing wrong.
Alice, what does that even mean?
No, I lied to him. He doesn't even know that I'm here.
What?
I mean, he does now. He called.
Well, why did you lie to him?
Because I'm bad.
What?
You wouldn't love me if you knew how bad I am.
Jesus, is that something that he tells you?
That's her friend Tess. Tess goes, Jesus, is that what he tells you? That Houston, we have a problem. Anna Kendrick recently revealed that she drew from her own experience when preparing for this role. She's also executive producer of the film and joins us now. This is her first Broadcast News TV interview about the movie, and we're so glad that you chose to be here with us.
That's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much. I started watching the movie, Anna, and I deliberately didn't know what it was about. Sometimes I like to watch with no thing. First, I wasn't even sure I liked her.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure I liked her friends. I thought boyfriend was nice, and then midway you realize that he's a jerk. It was interesting.
Yeah, you were saying that to me earlier, and I appreciated that so much. I think a lot of people are maybe afraid to say, like, I didn't really like your character
at
first.
I didn't. Why didn't I like her?
I think that's important because it's, you know, she's in a bad place. She's cold, she's rude, she's kind of a bummer to be around for the first part of the movie. And I think, you know, we were sort of talking about the movie feeling like almost like a mystery film.
Yes.
Because you are going
too.
like, wait, who is likable here?
Yes.
Who is the good guy? Who's the bad guy? Because that's the experience so often is you're going, am I the bad guy? What's going on? And like, you're trying so hard to pull that apart and figure it out, and you become this detective in your own life. And it's so much harder to figure out than just looking at like each behavior, and you have to sort of start trusting like, this is harming me, this is doing something terrible to me, but that's really hard to do.
I also appreciated that you focused on the psychological abuse, because most of us talk about physical abuse, but very few movies and very few women talk about the psychological abuse.
Yeah.
And then to hear that you've been through this yourself.
Yeah, I think it's...
What can you share with us about your own personal experience and why you wanted to do this?
Yeah, I think part of the reason that people don't talk about it is it feels embarrassing. I think it's something that's so difficult to even put into words, and the challenge of creating a film that put you in that experience was a really bold endeavor, I think, and the screenwriter and the director, Mary Nye, did such an incredible job of really putting you in that experience. I mean, as you say, like you start the movie and you don't really know what's going on. A lot of people have told me like halfway through the movie that they're not sure what to believe, and that's a big part of that experience is that your mind starts to play tricks on you, and you don't know if you can trust your own perception and your own experience, and the movie kind of puts you in that place.
Now, you've been through some of these things personally, and now there's a film where you get to add into it from personal experience. What advice do you give to someone who might be in a similar situation?
I have thought about this so much because I really wish there was something I could say. I want there to be something I could say, and I'm so embarrassed to say that I'm not sure there was anything that I could have heard that would have like made me turn the lights on.
I was wondering that too. Yes.
I know, and I guess the only thing that I can say, I wish I had something for the people who might be wondering if they're in this experience. I mean, I think therapy will help a lot if you have access to it, which I know not everybody does. But I think if you're the friend of somebody who's in this situation, and again, backstage, you were like, at first I wasn't sure if I liked your friends.
Yes, I wasn't sure I liked your friends either.
Like it's a really confusing.
But friendship is a theme in this film as well.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
And I think one of the hardest things for us to do is when we see someone we love suffering, whether that's with an abusive relationship or addiction or whatever it is they're going through, we're so desperate to help them because we love them that we want to invade and control, and it's so much harder, but it's such a radical act of love to go, whatever you decide to do, I'm going to be here for you, you know, until obviously you're in a position where maybe that's harming you. But
I think it's interesting, too, that you use the word embarrassing, because you look at you, you're attractive, you're accomplished, you're talented, you're smart. Did you find yourself wondering, why am I allowing myself to be treated this way by this person?
yeah, I think that's the thing that's actually lingered much longer than the behavior of the other person, is the shame that I feel around, like, how did I become that person? Like,
What did he do to you, Anna?
I mean,
you haven't told
we're
us
just
who.
talking about like a really kind of classic emotional, psychological breakdown. It was, I know that gaslighting has become this kind of term
yes.
that is very, very popular, but it was a really sustained period, and I really didn't know what to believe anymore. I really started to wonder if I had a mental health issue, and I kind of dismantled my life. And for a year, I started just going to therapy and going to Al-Anon, and I have this like graveyard of self-help books in my house that I look at now and just go like, oh man, I was like looking for answers in the wrong places. I was just trying so hard to stop being crazy.
I know. I always think it's the worst to doubt yourself, don't you?
Yes.
When you think, God, I know what I know.
Yeah.
And it's the worst to doubt
But
yourself.
when another human being is so certain that you're nuts, basically, it's really difficult to not believe somebody, because I think there's something about another person's certainty that makes you go like, well, I guess I'm not 100% certain, so it must be me.
Can we ask about Pitch Perfect?
Sure.
Is there going to be a Pitch Perfect for Anna Kendrick? Speak into the microphone.
We all are so obsessed with each other. We have this group chat, and we're always hanging out, and like we would love to get paid to hang out. So
Talk about it. Okay, she said
we
paid.
would all love.
I know she did with paid.
I did. We would all love to do a Pitch Perfect 4, but obviously it's
Would you
it's not our
direct it?
decision.
Would you direct it?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know that being in charge of your own friend group is a great idea.
Well, I know you're interested in directing. You never know. Thank you, Anna Kendrick. Thank you for the movie, Alice,
Thank you so much.
Darling, because even that means something. Congratulations, bravo.
Thank you
bravo
so
to you.
much.
Alice, Darling, because I think that comma is important, because that's him speaking, opens exclusively in an AMC theater nationwide on January 20th. That's next Friday. We'll be right back.